start, I think it's all started with a reality check a few years back, and now it's becoming clearer where that finds its home, and that's with really founders. And the big reason of that is because they embody a lot of what I try to explain and explore in reality check in pursuit of the right questions, which was how can you find your true self amongst or amidst all the distractions? So the Founder's Truth is really building up on that in a trilogy which covers you at first. How can you find yourself? How can you basically remove all the distractions? How can you sit with ambiguity to find clarity and that paradoxical nature? And then moving into the second book, which Relativity has lost its purpose, which is really around teams. So no founder has ever really been able to do something without the team. And that's the team, whether direct or indirect, like the people which are supporting you, which are basically creating this ecosystem for you to actually thrive. And really some of the challenges of what that could look like and how to go about it. So we're going to talk a lot about team dynamics, not necessarily from the performative point of view, but more so from the kind of cultural behavior that shape those interactions and how those will work or can take you forward. And again, there the theme is really around absurdity, is how much we've usually optimized for the wrong things, expecting them to give us the right outcomes. While by doing so, we end up just sitting in a performance rather than actually what's happening. And like a quick example, we talk about trust, we talk about, transparency and all of those things. Yet what most people miss is you observe those behaviors, you don't build them. So when you start building for transparency, you have blunt honesty or something which really does not create what you're looking for. And that mismatch is the nuance of that mismatch we're going to talk about a lot. And I think the third book, which as well, which was part of writing this, in the writing of this process created all of this, was The Culture of Why and the Rise of AI. Because at the end of the day, a founder's journey ends up in how they disrupt society and how they create something new and that solve problems. And I think today technology is a huge part of society and how it has shaped the modern world and how it will continue to shape the modern world at the end of the day. And what are some of the things that technology can create to remove this disconnection from us as a humans? Because I think today what has happened a lot is either we put it as the enemy or we create this barrier between us and it, almost like the synthetic, the digital versus the person, the human. And really kind of how to destroy these barriers and how technology actually will make everything more real time. How we're going to be able to kind of collapse timelines, collapse identity, collapse like environmental things, building up on the second book with teams, but how that kind of grows up into organizations and societies as a whole. And that's very exciting. I think that trajectory kind of gave a complete picture of how I see probably the future for entrepreneurs and founders building exciting stuff. But at the same time, how to enable them to really see through a lot of the BS that we have been, communicating or preaching for the most part. And especially around like how technology is bad or how, some elements in our society is what creating this disconnect, while in truth, they are actually not. So I'm very excited about all of that. It sounds, it's a lot, but hopefully it will give founders an overall journey that they can follow.